Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Devipuram. In that kingdom, there was a great king named Shivavarma. He was a king who always stood for what's right. Once in a while, he would venture out to his kingdom in a disguise to see what is happening around his land. He usually did that to understand the problems and concerns that the people of his kingdom are facing. While he was strolling his kingdom, he sees an old lady named Janaki standing out of her house. King questioned her and she replied to him.
Why do I have such a problematic life? I am sick and tired of living in this way. I hope God can come and take me with him.
After the king listened to what the old lady said, he felt compassionate towards her. He then walked towards her to understand what she is going through. He said this to her.
May I know what is wrong, madam? Please tell me what is going on in your life and what are your problems. If you tell me, I might be able to help you get rid of all of them.
Janaki was surprised to see this young man speaking to her that way. She was quite happy and looked at him and said this to him.
Please come and sit next to me. But I'm not sure how you will be able to solve my problems. You seem like you have come from a land that is far away. All I have in my life is my younger granddaughter. She visits me once in a while but very rarely. When I thought of living with my granddaughter in her husband's house, I realized that her mother-in-law does not like me at all. Therefore, I wasn't allowed to live with her. So I spend most of my days in this tiny hut and I work for other people to make a living. I hope God can come fast and take me away from this misery.
After listening to everything that Janaki said, the king felt very sad. He looked at the old lady and he said this to her.
Oh no, this is such a tragedy. You shouldn't live alone at this age of your life. I know it is much difficult for you to earn a living to stay here. Keep this money and make sure that it helps you for your financial needs.
The king immediately handled a bundle of coins for the old lady. As soon as he gave it, he went back to his place and a week later the king came back to the same place in a disguise to see what is happening around. At that moment, he saw the old lady.
I wish the Lord can come and take my life away. I cannot live here any longer.
The king was surprised to see this old lady was still very troubled and sad. Even though he had given all the money that he had at that time, the king gets surprised and he goes towards her and asks her like this.
Are you alright, ma'am? Have you used my money yet? Or has it gotten over already? Please let me know what you are going through.
After listening to what the king said, Janaki takes a deep breath and she says like this.
Listen to me, young man. What will I do with the money that you gave me? I've hidden the money that I have so that I can give it to my granddaughter when she comes and visits me. But I'm also very scared that my money might be stolen away from me, which is why I kept it in a very safe place.
After listening to what Janaki said, the king laughs loudly and he says this to her.
Listen to me, ma'am. I shall send my soldiers towards you. They shall bring you to my place and you shall live peacefully and happily in a luxurious environment. You don't have to worry about anything anymore.
After seeing that, king walks away towards his palace again. The next day morning, some soldiers who were sent by the king came and said this to her.
Ma'am, please come with us. The king wants to see you immediately. He has ordered us to bring you to the palace.
As soon as the old lady saw the soldier, she became very afraid and she said this to soldiers.
What mistake or crime have I committed? And why have you come here? I think you are in the wrong place.
Ma'am, you have nothing to worry about. The person that you met yesterday was none other than your king. He has ordered us to bring you in safe and sound with respect. Please come with us and we shall take you to his palace immediately right away.
After listening to what the soldiers said, Janaki was very surprised. Then she gets together with the soldiers and they carry her in a special chariot and they take her towards the palace. As soon as Janaki reaches the palace, she looks at the king and king was glad to see her and he says this to her.
Welcome, ma'am. It is so glad to see you. From today onwards, you don't have to struggle about anything in your life anymore. All the amenities and the luxuries that you need will be given to you.
The king immediately takes Janaki to her special room where she will stay. The king had thought that she had been through a lot. Therefore, she will appreciate everything that the king is doing for her. He also believed that he would be able to change her life. After few weeks, king goes to Janaki and asks like this.
How are you, ma'am? I hope you are very happy. Have I given everything that you require? Are you happy to be in my place? Is there anything else I need to give it to you?
After listening to what king said, Janaki was very sad and she looked at the king and said this.
I have to say that I am very pleased with what you have given me. There is no requirements for all this luxury, but I am still glad to eat at the right time and sleep at a very good place. But I must say I am still very worried about what is happening in my house.
After listening to what she said, king was very surprised. Once again, he didn't understand what to do. He looked at Janaki and said this.
What would be there in your tiny little hut? There might be nothing that is valuable there. Why are you so concerned about that hut? Is there something else that you want?
After listening to what the king said, Janaki fears that if she says anything more, the king might fake offense to it. So she looks at the king and says this.
What I am trying to say is that since I am here, if my granddaughter wants to visit me, she would go to my old hut. And if she goes there, she wouldn't be able to find me. Therefore, that is the only reason I wonder what is happening in my old hut.
After listening to what Janaki said, the king calls one of his soldiers and he says this to him. And soldier also entered the room.
Listen to me. I want you to go and find out where this woman's granddaughter is and want you to bring her right here.
After saying this to the soldier, the king looks at Janaki and he says this to her.
Listen to me, ma'am. From now onwards, all your worries are solved. Your daughter will be brought right here towards you and you would be able to live with her for long as you possibly can. And this might solve your problems entirely. You have nothing to worry about anymore.
After saying that, king walks away from her room. Few days later, the soldiers bring Janaki's daughter and her son to meet Janaki. Since Janaki didn't see her granddaughter for a long while, she looks at her and she says this to her.
Thank you so much for coming. It has been such a long time since I have seen you. May I know how your mother-in-law is treating you nowadays?
The granddaughter Lakshmi couldn't understand why her grandmother was living such a luxurious place in the palace without knowing what was going on. Lakshmi asked her grandmother.
Grandma, please tell me this. I don't understand. Why have you left your heart and come all the way here in this king's palace? The people in this palace treating you with so much respect. What has happened here?
After listening to what Lakshmi said, the Janaki tells everything that had occurred until then. Then Janaki and her son decided to stay with the grandmother for a while. As they kept staying and as time kept moving on, they realized that it is quite different to stay in a palace than a own home. They felt like staying on a land of thrones. One day Lakshmi's son was crying.
Ma'am, your granddaughter's son is crying for a long time. Crying is not allowed in this palace, as the king will get upset if he hears this.
After listening to what the soldier said, even Janaki started feeling afraid of consequences of this ordeal. She was upset that they were taking the scream of child so seriously and acting like they would punish her. Janaki goes to her granddaughter and she says this to her.
Please do not go that side. Please make sure that your son does not cry when he goes towards that side.
After listening to what her grandmother said, Lakshmi gets very upset. She then realizes that she cannot stay here anymore and she said this to her grandmother.
Grandma, I cannot stay here anymore. I have to leave right now. This is not a safe place for me to stay. I have to go back to my home.
Janaki understood the problems that her granddaughter was facing. So she takes all the money that she has and she gives it to her granddaughter and she says this.
Listen to me. I want you to understand that I know what you are going through, and I would like you to take this money that I have and leave this place right away. I understand that it is not safe for you.
Lakshmi takes the money and she leaves immediately from the palace. Janaki then took everything she had and put it in a bag. She handed over it to the granddaughter and she thought herself like this.
Now I understand why this was a very bad idea. Being in this place feels like being in a hell. I can't have the freedom that I want. Had I stayed at my place in that hut, I would have had a better life. I don't know if I should be here anymore. And I think I should go away from this place. I should have never come here.
Janaki goes towards the king and stands in front of him. The king looks at her and is surprised once again.
What is wrong, ma'am? Can I help you with anything again? Why do you look so upset and sad? Is there something going on in your life that I need to fix? Please let me know.
Janaki looks at king with a very sad expression and she says this to him.
What can I say about this? If I was living in my hut, I could have worked every single day and I could have had a life where I did something productive. But being here, I just feel lazy and useless. It's almost like I have no purpose in life. I just feel like this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
After listening to what Janaki said, the king looks at her and thinks for a while. Then king understands the situation of Janaki. King then takes his decision. He says this to her.
I understand, ma'am, how difficult it is to not do anything on a daily basis. I will suggest you one thing. Why don't you go to the place where my daughter lives in Antapuram? Over there, you would not be alone and you can find a way to make a living for yourself. Is that a good idea, ma'am? What do you say?
Thank you so much for your offer. Even though we both have no relation towards each other, you have taken better care of me than my son could ever. I'm so grateful to be in your blessings. The fact that you want to look after me this much shows that you are a great king.
After listening to what Janaki said, the king takes her to his daughter Tejasvi. The king looks at his daughter and says this.
I want you to give small jobs for this lady and make sure that she does everything properly as.
Sure, father. I shall do everything I can to make her feel comfortable.
Even though she is in a different place now, she is taken more care than she was in a previous palace. Janaki still feels a sense of being lost as she misses her homeland because she is much far away. Every once in a while, she would take her key and she would keep looking at it. The king's daughter notices what Janaki is doing and asks her like this.
Grandma, may I please understand what you are going through? Since you have come to this place, you always seem sad and lonely. You always pick up the key and you keep staring at it. Is this place not up to your satisfaction? May I know what you are feeling?
After listening to what the king's daughter said, Janaki starts tearing up and she lets her all emotions take the best of her. She says this to king's daughter.
All of you have taken such good care of me and have given everything that I could ever need in any lifetime. But somehow I feel that something is missing in my life. And I think it is because of my old house. If you could ask the king to arrange for me to visit my old house just for 4 days, I would be glad and I shall promise to come back soon. Will you please do this for me?
After listening towards what Janaki said, king's daughter immediately goes to the king and narrates everything that has occurred until then. She says like this to king.
Father, you have given everything you can for that ma'am. But she still doesn't seem happy. Ever since she entered my palace, I don't think she has been happy at all. I think she misses her own house. Maybe we should send her back. Maybe that is the only thing that can make her feel happy again.
The king was surprised to hear what his daughter said. Then king said this.
Even I don't know what to do anymore. Every time I see her being sad, I try to do the best to make her happy. But it seems like nothing is making her happy. So I think it is the best we send her back to her own house so that she will be so happy.
The king immediately makes arrangements to his soldiers to take Janaki back to her old house. King says to his daughter,
But one thing I don't understand. What does she have to worry about anymore? But I seriously want to understand what she is going through.
I have an idea. Father, why don't you take your disguise and go towards her house and see what she's doing since the time she gets into her old house so that you will know what is happening.
Yes, you are right. I have to figure out what she is going through. I shall go there in my disguise once again to see what is happening.
The king was very curious to see what is going to happen. He sees Janaki getting into her old house. She walked very eagerly towards her house. She happily took a broomstick and cleaned all over the house. And she takes a mat and lays it down on the floor. She then sleeps on the top of the mat and she says this to herself.
Finally, I am back into my own house and I feel much more safer and peaceful. It is very true what the old people have said before, that being in a golden cage is no better than being in a tiny hut. You need freedom to be as a human being. I never would like to go back to that place again. This is the life that I want to live.
The king finally gets to understand what the Janaki needed to order to be happy. She valued her freedom and she valued her happiness more than anything in her life. She understood what makes her happy. Even though she had everything that is needed in the king's palace, Janaki needed was her freedom. King then leaves to the palace.
If you like this story, do like it, share it. For more new stories, please subscribe our New Stories Book English YouTube channel.